So here you are, whiffing all your shots and you finally had enough. You're thinking about diving into the world of aim training, huh? Well, I got some insights you might not expect. First things first, the age-old question, is aim training worth it? And the short answer is absolutely, but only if you're committed. Not so much if you'll approach it casually. You might be wondering, am I really going to spend hours on hours just on my aim? Well, realize that some people need it more than others, and ultimately, the people who are going to feel the biggest jump in their aim are beginners. You'll have to have some basic knowledge and spend some time in learning the ins and outs of your aim. I mean, who wants to spend hours on end playing things that don't even benefit them? Here's where the issues start. Beginners will often feel a big leap of improvement because their brain isn't used to this sort of challenge. But those big leaps of improvement quickly turn smaller as you go from beginner to intermediate. Ultimately, the people who are going to feel the biggest jump in their aim are beginners. That's because their brain isn't really used to this sort of challenge that aim training provides. Here's where the issues start. Those big leaps in improvement, that's what you'll feel as a beginner who sticks to the basic and knows what he's doing. Hit up something like my beginner fundamental, my static playlist, or my easy FAR routines and you're golden. But hold on. Once you start hitting that intermediate zone, that's where the real struggle begins. Plateau city, population, a lot of people. When you're stuck in that intermediate to advanced limbo, those big jumps go from massive improvements into mini royales and smaller PBs. You now gotta start figuring out what works for you. And let's be real, not everyone will bother with that. People cling on to their old habits, thinking aim training is just a lost cause. But the truth is, it's about challenging your brain in new ways, just as you did when you were a beginner. Zoom in on your crosshair and start asking yourself the tough questions, like am I over flicking, am I under tracking, what's missing from my highlights, and so on. Once you figure out your flaws, it's now time to figure out how to solve them through materials such as my videos, my improvement guides, and much more. Yes, it's a deep dive and yeah, it's exhausting, but everyone struggles with it. Know that you won't find a solution instantly. It'll take time and experiments to truly know what works for you. Now's the burning question. Is it worth it? Hell yes, but only if you go into it with the dedication to get good. Not letting the many hurdles you'll face stop you. For most people, aim is the part holding them back from their potential. Have you ever done a good play just to whiff your shots? Yeah, we've all been there, and getting better aim won't hurt your progress, since it's a way slower climb than game sense, for example. So dedication will be the most important factor. Expect times where you get stuck and frustrated, but consistency is key. Show up every day, do your hour, try new things, experiment, and before you know it, voila, the progress will sneak up on you. It's not an overnight thing. For those of you wondering, how quickly will I improve? Well, some folks see a sudden explosion of progress, hitting personal bests left and right very easily, but these people are rare. Most people will feel their aim getting stale for a longer periods of times and then suddenly an explosion of skill. Just remember, you might not feel the small ways your aim is improving, but it is. It's like working out, and every time you bench, you expect an extra centimeters on your chest. Your mentality would be wrong, since it's a game of millimeters, not centimeters. Those people who do feel great improvement from my coaching are often the ones going the extra mile, clocking in 2 or 3 hours a day beyond what I've provided. Bottom line, aim training for an hour doesn't add 100 extra hours into your game. It's more like doubling the time you spend in an actual match. So the question shouldn't be if you're worth it, but if you're up for the challenge. Figure this shit out or keep wondering if aim even matters. Your move.